Hello and welcome to another update video about the NASDAQ. Quick update video here, as the last week was again very successful and the uptrend that we've been tracking primarily is so far being respected. The idea is that we're getting closer to a top here, but in my opinion another 4-5 pattern is needed here to complete the overall uptrend. That is very similar to the S&P 500, for example. So to really get to a long-term top, probably maybe around or just below the 19,000 points region, the short-term uptrend needs to remain intact. At some point we should get this larger degree wave 4 here, which has the wave degree of this wave 2, which unfolded between December, the 20th of December and the 5th of January. What I want to do in this video is to highlight what the relevant next parameters are that we need to be watching for next week, and what the micro count could be, which to be honest hasn't really changed since the last video. You can see that we've had some really nice support zones here which did hold. The market respected the parameters. That always gives a little bit of confidence or more confidence in the current wave count, which is currently unfolding. Looking at the structure, the idea is that we are now in a C wave, possibly the last move up in a long-term bullish market. We should see at least some kind of a more decent pullback as soon as this C wave has topped. I will not confirm some kind of a bear market or a long-term top in place until we have broken below micro support levels. And even at the moment, I'm still watching for another 4-5 pattern, as I said. Why not start with putting the next main support region on the chart? As you can see, we've been climbing the stairs here in recent weeks, in a similar way to the S&P 500, which we analyze in our stocks and S&P 500 service. So it's very similar way. Structure is fairly similar. What I want to do, shouldn't talk and think. No, what we want to do is we want to put the support zone on the chart for the fourth wave. Now, this is likely going to be a moving support range, right? What does that mean? That means I haven't got a confirmed top in place here at all, and it should probably still get a few squiggles higher. However, that means we can put the support area on the chart where it is now. At least you have an orientation. But please be aware that this support area will move as the price makes new highs. So the support area is currently defined between 17,179 and 17,640. That is a very common support region here for a wave 4 of this wave degree. It's between the 50% retracement and the 23.6 retracement. The market would also, by adhering to this Fibonacci support area, avoid an overlap with wave 1. Okay, so what a wave 4 shouldn't do in such an impulse, should not break into the wave 1 price region, because the C wave seems to be an impulse here. So then if we zoom in a little bit, now that we all understand that this is a moving support area still, let's look at the micro levels within this third wave. Seems like a 1-2 setup unfolded. The third wave, let me just check that. I think the third wave reached minimum expectations, didn't it? It did. The 1.38 extension is here. Yeah. So the third wave, I'm happy with that. I was happy with the fourth wave. And the fifth wave here seems to be unfolding right now. And it might need a few more squiggles higher, because it seems like a fifth wave is still missing. Now let's take a look at the micro fib levels within this structure. So minimum target for a third again, right? But please be aware that as this is a fifth wave of circle wave 3, that fifth wave could be an ending diagonal, so we might not get the full structure necessarily of an impulse, but it looks impulsive. So best is to add to the charts first the fibs. And what I'd like to see next is the third wave reach possibly 18,135. Better would be 18,272. Then we should still get a fourth wave pullback at some point, and the fifth wave could reach maybe 18,500. Now that's sort of what I see right now. At least they are parameters to watch for next week. So if we continue to push higher, 18,135 will be the first target. Better would be 18,272. possibly even here 18,356 for wave 3. Let me hide the ones that are not relevant. So these are the levels for wave 3 and 5. Yeah. What is micro support right now? So it's important to know about the micro support level, because this could be an ending diagonal. So I'd prefer to give it a little bit more space in case we've got something like that. Maybe wave 1 only had 3 waves running flat in wave 2, then an A, B, C in wave 3. It might be a bit short then, you know. Then we get a 4, which might be deep because we're dealing with a diagonal. Always have to consider it could be an ending diagonal here because we're dealing with a wave 5. So I prefer to add a micro support range. Could even be here the way. Yeah, okay, but we want to. Okay, so we give it a bit more space, and I typically add the golden ratio then, 61.8 retracement to the chart. Where are we here? 61.8, there you go. So this is what I would be watching for going forward, also into next week. As long as this level is holding, the focus can be on higher. Especially, I'd like it to hold 17,812. Okay, if it breaks below that, then we have the last level to watch at 17,752. Honestly, below that level, I have to assume that we have an early top in place in circle wave 3. That we are already in circle wave 4, but one more high would still be expected afterwards. So basically, still watching for higher prices. Short term against 17,752, that's also not too far away. But preferably against 17,812. And then the more relevant or medium term support level is 17,180. Honestly, below that level, it could be that a long-term top is in place or a more substantial top. You already see how maybe, I mean, if it fails, we might see a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern there. Left shoulder, head, right, and the right shoulder. But we'll see. I mean, ideally we get one more high afterwards. But anyway, that's the question maybe for next week. At the moment, in the short term, I focus on higher against this micro support region. It doesn't mean that we get into this support region, but it means that I'm focusing on higher. I will have to, depending on how the week starts, I will have to adjust the support area accordingly. If we get a gap up, okay, then we might have to move it with the price. Again, that's just due to the retracements. They always measured against the length of that wave here. Okay, that gives you ideally the parameters for next week. Hopefully it's helpful. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500 as well as regular updates about stocks, then please check out the S&P 500 and stock service. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.